another magical adventure. It's a rainy day here at Epcot.
Adventure.
Yeah, it's a rainy adventure here at Epcot.
So my quick tip is to go for a standard ticket instead of a park hopper. That way you're spending all time at the park.
Tots are in the oven, looking good. Our chili.
Good evening, friends, and welcome to the Magical Adventurers Live. My name is Matt, and tonight it all comes down to this. The top 20 attractions at Walt Disney World, chosen by you, are going to compete for the title of Best Attraction at Walt Disney World. And here to help me tonight with this big question are my good friends and fellow adventurers, Alexis.
Hi, guys.
And Nate.
Hey.
And of course, this Magic Madness has been extra amazing because of our two special guests who are joining us again tonight to finish it out with us, Brandon and Heidi from It's Always Sunny.
Hi, everyone.
I just have to say we have loved having you guys on here since it's about a month now that we have been going through all these brackets and trying to decide the best attraction at Walt Disney World. Maybe for anyone joining us for the first time, why don't you guys tell us about what you do over on your channel?
Yeah, so we are from Canada. We do a lot of unboxings and hauls and pins every week, and we just have all this craziness all the time. So thank you for having us. It's been an honor to be on here with you guys, and we're so glad that we've connected and become friends with you all. So thank you.
Yeah, well, same here. It's been an honor to have you, and we will definitely see them again for sure.
For sure.
That's a definite. So, if you're joining us here live tonight, thank you for joining us. We're so happy to have you as always. So sit back, relax, grab a snack, tag a friend in the comments below, invite them, share the video, and have them come join this crazy Magic Madness that we're about to ensue tonight. If you're watching on the replay or listening in podcast form, don't forget to join us every Saturday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube channel or on Facebook. And of course, we have more great content throughout the entire week. Be sure to head over to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified of when all of our latest videos go live. Our newest video this week was Nate giving us some photography tips. Those are some of his amazing pictures there. He gave some great tips, so be sure to check that out, especially if you're going to Disney World anytime soon. And if you are, stay safe. What else do we have tonight? Of course, our Instagram at The Magical Adventurers. Be sure to follow for new content every single day from there. And over on Facebook at The Magical Adventurers, where you can catch the live stream as well as all of our latest updates from The Magical Adventurers. And be sure to head over to It's Always Sunny and subscribe to Brandon and Heidi. Hit that bell icon. Every Monday and Friday, they have something new and exciting. And on Instagram, go ahead and follow them too at Sunny Times 2. I guarantee you it is definitely always sunny over there. So definitely check them out. All of those links and everything will be found in the comments section as well as in the description of this video. So be sure to check all of that out. Couple of announcements before we get into our Magic Madness. Next week, so the fun isn't over after this is over. Believe me, we got great stuff coming up. Next week, we will be having Magical Game Night, and we will be playing Geek Out. And I have it right here. Geek Out. Next week, we'll be playing to test your Disney knowledge. And the best part is, you guys get to play along with us, and we're going to start a new feature. We could call into the stream and play, and you will be able to support, and you get to choose which magical adventure you like to support and help win and geek out. So this is our Nate supporters have an opportunity to support Nate, and our anti-Nate folks get to go against him. So it's really exciting. I know I'm excited for that. What else do we have? Oh, of course, just 1 week from now, only 1 week, our new blog will be launching. So there it is, August 1st. We have great stuff coming up for there. It's going to be really exciting. It looks great. We have a couple more minor tweaks to make, and then it's ready. So we're so excited to launch that for you guys. And like you've seen, Brandon and Heidi have been here with us this whole time, and it's been amazing. And we would love to invite anyone else who has a Disney YouTube channel out there to join us as special guests in the future, because we love having guests. We love collaborating with our fellow Disney YouTubers and growing our communities and our families. So be sure, if you're interested in that, send us a message on Instagram or Facebook, or however else you could contact us. We'll have a contact form on the website as well. Let's see. Am I missing anything else? As always, spread the word. Go out there and share it with all your friends. Have them join us every week to be part of our family. And I think that's all I have. And now it's time to go on to the Magic Madness of the evening. First matter of business tonight is the Animal Kingdom Wild Card. So the first matchup of the Animal Kingdom Wild Card was two Dino Land attractions, Dinosaur and Finding Nemo. It's like on the border of Dino Land. But Dinosaur, it was no contest here. 68% of the votes. Dinosaur moved on. The next one was Cali River Rapids against Navi River Journey. This one was a lot closer. Cali River Rapids only winning by about 5 votes. It had 55% of the vote. So Cali River Rapids moved on with a slim victory. And then it was Dinosaur against Cali River Rapids, and there was no contest at all. You all voted for Dr. Seeker and an opportunity to get that dino with 76% of the votes. Dinosaur moved on and took a spot as the wild card, and we'll be playing tonight. So who's playing tonight? Here's our recap. It's the top 20 attractions. Representing Disney's Animal Kingdom, Dinosaur with the wild card spot. Kilimanjaro Safaris, Festival of the Lion King, Expedition Everest, and the Animal Kingdom champion, Flight of Passage. Thank you, Nate. Over at Disney's Hollywood Studios, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway took that wild card spot. Will be here tonight. And also from Hollywood Studios, Toy Story Mania, Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, Slinky Dog Dash, and the champion of Disney's Hollywood Studios, my favorite and Heidi's favorite, the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. Over at Epcot, the Three Caballeros took that wild card spot. It was Grand Fiesta Tour. We also have Test Track, Spaceship Earth, Frozen Ever After, and the champion of Epcot, Soarin'. And representing the Magic Kingdom, the Pirates took that wild card spot. It was the first wild card spot. So it's Pirates of the Caribbean, Space Mountain, Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, Splash Mountain, and the champion of Magic Kingdom, Haunted Mansion. So, boy, it's gonna be tough. So let's get started with our first round tonight. Our first matchup is going to be Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway versus Festival of the Lion King. Brandon and Heidi, what did you guys say for this one?
So this has been like a recurring theme. I know like every week we say it, but again, it's ride in a show. So even though the Lion King show was awesome, we picked our Runaway Railway, even though we've never been on it. Again, it's hard to compare a show and a ride.
Yeah, I think that's been one of the philosophies in this entire Magic Madness tournament. Ride over a show no matter what. Let's see the chat so far. It's Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. There's 2 for those. Yeah, I mean,
I think it's about time that we knock Festival of the Lion King off of its high horse. And that
right.
This will likely be the only time I vote for Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway the whole night. Depending on what it comes up against next round, that could change. But as it stands right now, that is likely going to be the only time I vote for it.
That is a true statement.
All right. Well, looks like most people are going with our philosophy of ride over show. We have Aiden says Mickey and Minnie. Jessica says Mickey and Minnie. Magically, Caitlin says Mickey and Minnie. Brendan says Mickey and Minnie. Magically, Mickey and Moore says it hurts, but got to go with Runaway Railway. Ride Trump show. Amanda did vote Festival of the Lion King. Great show. Best show, actually. And but it looks like Runaway Railway is taking this for sure. Alexis, what did the Magical Adventurers come up with?
Well, Nate was correct. This was the only time he voted for Runaway Railway, and it is unanimous for Runaway Railway.
Yeah, so Mickey and Minnie get to move on. beating the best show at Walt Disney World, and obviously it's the best show because it made this tournament, right?
I had to get one more word in.
Again. We're not having this argument.
It's out. It's out, Matt. There's nothing else that you can say about it.
It's out. But it deserved to be in this tournament. And that's
bravo for it getting to the big ups to. I can't finish that. I don't mean it.
All right. Well, moving on to our next round, it's Frozen Ever After versus Dinosaur. Alexis, what did the Magical Adventurers say for this one? This one's a little harder, I think.
Almost everybody made the right decision here and voted for Frozen, except for Nate, who voted for Dinosaur. So it's a 4-1 vote.
So, the show's going about the same as it usually does, folks. Nate picks the unpopular opinion. But, Nate, why did you go with Dinosaur?
For me, Dinosaur is just more unique. You guys all know how I feel about IPs in parks. And Matt, I think you brought it up later in our group chat anyway. But I think it was Frozen and something else later on. But Frozen in Epcot is there just because money. And they can squeeze more out of it because it's in Norway. And they can put something else there. Dinosaur, and as much as it pains me to say this, has Dr. Seeker, and that makes it unique, and it makes it so much more fun than just the ride itself. And I personally would choose, if it's between the two, the rides themselves are very different. Usually I would say I'd pick Frozen, but just nostalgia thinking, I would probably pick Dinosaur over Frozen.
Yeah, and Nate, I'm going to tell you this right now, because I have to be honest with everybody watching tonight. I wanted to vote for Dinosaur, but I didn't, because Alexis and I had a deal. She was going to save Tower of Terror for a round, so she's like, you owe me one. So I had to vote for Frozen. So I did. I'm going to put that out there, but I would like to say some positive things about Frozen before we move on to the next vote, and that is Frozen has amazing animatronics. And I think, in the way that theme park, the desires of the theme park public go, they want these characters in these parks. They want more rides in Epcot, more relevant rides, I guess you could say. So in that regard, Frozen does its job very well. But Brandon and Heidi, what did you guys say?
So I love Frozen. Everyone knows I love Frozen too, but we actually voted for Dinosaur. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, Alexis.
So the reason why we did is
oh my God.
I know, isn't it? We're already popping off with some shocking things here. So this was a lot of me, because Dinosaur is so underrated and it's so good, and
I love it. Dinosaur is so fun.
So, and it's very I think that why we picked it is kind of like how Nate said, it's unique and different and kind of something that, I don't know, we just really
the reason
love it.
I love the Frozen ride so much is because it's about Frozen, but the reason I love Dinosaur is just because the ride's great in my opinion. So that's why we went with Dinosaur.
So already a shock.
Yeah.
Heidi
Dinosaur's winning in the chat.
Heidi said Alexis is going to be sad.
I feel like a fraud, but I'm sorry.
It's understandable. It was hard for me too, because you're right. I ride Dinosaur just because it's a great ride, but Frozen, I have a connection to the movie.
Yeah.
So that's why I ride it, and I didn't think about it like that. So honestly, that's a really good reason. So I am okay with that.
Okay, good.
It's 8-2 or 8-3 for Dinosaur in the chat right now.
Mean, it looks like Dinosaur is moving on. Thank you, Brendan, for Dr. Seeker. Absolutely. We need to have a pre-show we need a theme park characters bracket.
Yeah.
And you get all a bunch of theme park characters like Figment and the Country Bears, the individual Big Al. And then you can put
Country Bears should go down in the first round. Just putting that out there.
The first matchup though would be Dr. Seeker and Dr. Stevens, and we know how that would go.
I don't know about first round. I think that's more of a heavyweight title.
Well, it is, but we will make sure anyway.
Back
to this. It looks like Dinosaur has won in the chat. So Dinosaur is going to move on
Woo.
All right, let's go get that dino, as so many of you are saying in the chat right now. All right, our next matchup is that Epcot Wildcard Grand Fiesta Tour versus Toy Story Mania. I have a feeling how this one's going to go with Brandon and Heidi, but we will start with you guys. So what did you guys say?
So this one, we didn't go off the normal path. We picked Toy Story Mania because of everything that it's about, like being competitive in a game and a ride, and just everything about it is super cool. And then again, like even though I love the Grand Fiesta Tour,
Well, Toy Story is your favorite.
Yeah,
so.
Toy Story is my favorite. So and I think it's better. So that's like, we tried to think of which rides are actually better, not our favorites for this time.
Yeah.
We've already got 4 votes for Toy Story Mania.
Yeah, Aiden says Toy Story Mania magically. Caitlin says Toy Story Mania.
It's the best.
Toy Story Mania, no competition. Well, there's a lot of competition in Toy Story Mania, that's for sure.
Last I checked, none of these other rides have a video game that you can play at home with your family.
Nate, it's not the same thing.
It's not. It's 100% worse. However, it's still fun.
You don't get that my arm is killing me feeling.
And that's the one thing that I would say makes it slightly better.
Yes, because when you have that feeling, you know you went out there and played hard.
True.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. You had a hard day at the ballpark that day.
Yeah, exactly. Looks like Toy Story Mania is going to take this one. But Alexis, what did the Magical Adventurers say on this one?
Unanimous vote for Toy Story Mania. So
Right.
Toy
Story's moving on.
I'm going to put it out there to everybody now. This is one of the few times for the Magical Adventurers votes that I got my way. So I'm really going to be arguing some stuff tonight.
Nate, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't get my way a lot of times in our voting as well, so it should be.
Doesn't feel good.
And our bracket's already changing. I think our bracket's going to change a lot tonight. So, Nate, you may end up getting your way tonight.
I would be surprised if it didn't change a lot. Also, I also want to throw out, I apologize if I seem distracted. I'm also working on a final graphic for us for the very end for when we do have a winner. So I'm going to have something ready for us at the end.
Look at that.
Wow. Look at that. Hashtag,
I'm putting my degree to good use.
Hashtag Nate got his way, says Brendan.
Let's keep that going.
I do have to say, though, the fact that Grand Fiesta Tour made it to this night is amazing. That's a victory in of itself.
Yeah,
like that's just amazing.
That's its last victory before it becomes Coco the Ride.
Yeah, well, if you saw one of the Caballeros fell down.
I did see, unfortunately.
He maybe had too many margaritas from the stand outside. But, All right. Our last matchup of the first round is Kilimanjaro Safaris and Pirates of the Caribbean. Alexis, what did we say about that one?
Okay, so everybody voted for Pirates except for Nate. Nate voted for Kilimanjaro Safari.
Sounds about right. Nate,
would you like me to argue, or do we want to see what other people say first?
I mean, you can start with like your laid back version of arguing, just like give us a general reason why, and as votes start to come in, you can go hard.
My opening paragraph, as it were. So Safari is Animal Kingdom. And I mean, obviously you can say the same for Pirates, but when we initially made our arguments in Magic Kingdom's poll way back when, at the beginning of all this, I believe Matt himself was saying that the Pirates in Disneyland is better than the Pirates in Disney World. So I might be remembering that wrong, but I feel like that's something that you said or may not have said. But
who, me?
Kilimanjaro, yeah, right. Kilimanjaro Safari is Animal Kingdom. Like, that is the essence of Animal Kingdom. You go there and you're gonna have one of 3 things in your fast passes. You're gonna have Flight of Passage, Everest, and you're gonna have the Safari, and you're gonna have the Safari over anything else if you can get it, or if Flight of Passage isn't available. That's not the point though. But the Safari, it's quintessential Animal Kingdom. You learn something, you have fun. It's different every time, whether that's good or bad. It just depends on the driver. But it's a top 3 ride in all of Animal Kingdom and a top 5 ride in all the parks.
I just want to counter real quick. Not many attractions like Pirates get movies based off the ride.
Counter to that counter, there should have been only
Franklin.
one Pirates of the Caribbean movie. After that, they went really far downhill.
I mean,
Okay. Well, that's not totally true. There was decent ones.
Okay, there
How
were
about the
funny.
second-
There were funny ones, but they weren't decent. Let's all take a step back here. All right.
argument that we
When-
made last episode too, that it
when-
depends on your driver and it depends
That's
on the
true.
time of day for the safari. For the Pirates, you're going to get the same experience every time.
But that's not always a good thing. Like, you know what you're going to get every time. You know it's going to be the same every time. You could go onto the safari and have a horrible time because there's no animals. Nobody, like, the driver is absolutely terrible, doesn't crack a single joke the whole time. But then you go back on it 10 minutes later, and then it's the best experience you've ever had. You're not going to have that with Pirates. It's going to be the same each time. It's not like Barbosa's going to start throwing out some different quips. Like, he's going to be saying the same thing each time.
Okay, yes, but let me ask you this question. A family going to Disney World for the first time ever.
Yeah, ever.
What do they think of first?
Okay, that's
The
an
Magic
unfair
Kingdom.
question.
The Magic Kingdom. And I think almost anybody thinks of the Magic Kingdom first when you think about Disney World, right? If I said Disney World, the first picture that pops in your mind is the castle.
If I remember from our training correctly, Magic Kingdom is quintessential Disney World,
Yeah, there exactly. So I
as we
think,
were told.
and Pirates is one of the quintessential attractions in quintessential Disney World. Just saying. Well,
I just, here's where I stand, and I love Pirates, I really do. And if my mom's watching right now, she's probably having a fit because she loves Pirates as well. But Pirates is not some. There's other rides I'm picking over Pirates at Magic Kingdom. There's not as many things I'm picking over Kilimanjaro Safari. Like, I'm picking any of the mountains over it. I'm picking Haunted Mansion over it, and I don't even really like Haunted Mansion. It's just a nice experience.
which we have to have. That's
We'll have a different talk about that.
what do you
But,
mean?
like,
It's a nice experience.
I'll talk more later. We'll see how far it goes. We'll see how I feel. But, and I'm so sorry. I'm seeing Aiden's comments. I'm so sorry,
Yes,
Aiden. If
you
you don't follow
betrayed
me,
him.
but Kilimanjaro Safari, I didn't back it up enough in the Animal Kingdom fight itself. But now that it's made its way to the big leagues, I gotta back it up a little bit more because Animal Kingdom, for one, I put that park ahead of Magic Kingdom, and two, like I was saying, Pirates isn't my top 3 or even top 5 choices of rides in Magic Kingdom.
But I for mine it is.
Well, and that's fair. That's the whole.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of our
Pirates.
argument.
Pirates is iconic, and Luke is legit screaming at the TV right now. Well, thank you.
And I mean, to take your argument and kind of twist it with saying, like, if you're a family going, the safari is the best family ride that there is. You're not going to take your little kid on Flight of Passage. You're not going to take your little kid on Everest. You'll take your little kid onto River Journey because it's not fast or scary or long or anything like that. You'll take your kid onto the Kilimanjaro Safari because they'll learn something and they'll get to see pretty animals during it. And it'll be funny, even if the driver isn't talking that much. They usually still work in a few quips here or there. But Safari is just a higher ranking ride based on the park itself for me.
All right. Well, let's see if any
Has
of you are.
has anybody been counting?
No.
Counting.
Are you
Okay.
counting? Okay. Well, let's see, Nate, if any of your comments have changed the minds of
I know I've
Brandon
lost
Heidi.
Aiden.
Well, hey, we are hashtag Team Nate with this one. 'Cause
Yeah, we already voted.
we already
Oh,
Kilimanjaro Safari, and for the exact reason that Nate said,
Yeah.
because it's like quintessential Animal Kingdom.
Mhm.
Like when you think of Animal Kingdom, you right away think of the safari. And I don't know if that's because, again, I can't do Flight of Passage and we know all that stuff, but like the safari is one thing that like has to be done, and it's a top like 1 or 2 thing that we have to do.
Yeah, and the whole thing about Animal Kingdom is like the animals and conservation and stuff, and I feel like that ride like incorporates that exactly.
Yeah, and it's hard. Like I love riding Pirates. It's so fun. But if I have to pick like what's like iconic and better. I don't know, Kilimanjaro Safari. So
Yeah.
we're hashtag
Wow.
now.
So it is now tied between the Safaris and the Pirates. Alexis, do you have a count in that chat?
It was 6-4 when I last counted. I don't think anyone else changed their vote.
In
It was
favor.
In
of-
favor.
Pirates. But let me count again because this is kind of a big one. So
This is wow. This
Park
is
Pioneer also made a good point.
Yeah.
It's a long ride. And even if it's a hot day, you're out of, like, obviously with Pirates, you're out of the heat no matter what. But with Safari, you're out of the heat and you're still having a top 3 experience of the park.
It's I don't know.
man.
Nate, you may want to count with me because I'm kind of losing track.
Yeah,
I
let me.
think it's-
All right. Well, I'm gonna make an executive call as not
Fine.
the person who's the host of the show, but I'm gonna say no more votes because at this point it's just
Yeah.
making it more difficult to count.
Yeah. Hold
Holy cow! All these comments are all about
7
this.
for Pirates.
on
Alright,
vote.
And
Pirates?
then, yeah, all
Alright.
these are just
All right, Alexis,
so
you
7
count.
for Pirates.
You count the Pirates votes, and I will count the Safari votes.
Count one more time just
Wow.
to be safe.
Well,
Okay, now I'm back up to Toy Story. So many of these comments were about this. So Safari. I don't like how far I had to scroll to get to that.
I think
Safari.
Pirates. We got 9 for Pirates.
Amanda says, "Where's Amy? I need her votes."
Yeah, I think this is going to Pirates.
Yeah.
As
I got 9 for Pirates.
Yeah.
9
I've
for
only got
Pirates.
4 so far, and we're starting to get to where the comments are just repetitive.
Yeah, we got
Pirates.
All
I think
right.
I've got 5 at most.
All right. Well, looks like Pirates does make its way through, but that was a tight one for the first round. It just goes to show you how tough the competition is tonight because the first round was we
It's like the
were
last one of the
arguing
first round.
hard. So, yeah, well, that's the end of the first round. We will now be moving on to round 2. Our first matchup is 2 e-ticket attractions, Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway and Avatar Flight of Passage. Brandon and Heidi, you guys get to start this one.
You wanna go?
Sure. So we haven't ridden like either one of these rides, so we just went based off what other people have been saying about them. So we went with Flight of Passage.
Yeah, because of like the fact about how different it is and how like unique it is and immersive. And then we kind of looked at the way that Nate said last time, which is if you take away Flight of Passage, what like really is there? And Flight of Passage is like I think people say one of the best or the best across all of Walt Disney World. So we went based on that kind of stuff and picked Flight of Passage.
Well,
As it should be. And this
What's
is where.
really funny. Alexis, why don't you tell us
Yes,
how
Alexis.
Magical
What?
Adventures voted?
I am ready for
so-
some sweet vengeance here.
Voted for Runaway Railway. It was a 3-2 vote. Nate
Wow.
and Jeffrey voted for Flight of Passage.
That's
So-
shocking.
I tell you.
This
And
Okay.
all we've got in the comments so far is Flight of Passage.
The
Okay,
reason I did it
go ahead, Alexis.
Oh, never mind. Now there's one.
reason I did it is that the way that they're doing the new track systems, that like the Imagineers are doing the new track systems that it's trackless, is so like incredible, and it must have took them so much work, and that's what I love about Runaway Railway and Rise. And I think that really like I don't know. I love Flight of Passage too, and it's hard because they're 2 different rides. Like Flight of Passage reminds me more of Soarin', and it's like you feel like you're riding on the back of a banshee. But Runaway Railway, like all the tracks go different directions, which is so cool, and it shocked me the first time. And like they make all these different like movements, which is so cool. And then the graphics of like the inside, it was so pretty and it was so like brightly colored, and it's like I've never been on a ride like that before. So that's why I personally voted for Runaway Railway. And I think a lot of people haven't ridden it, so they can't like understand really what I'm talking about.
Right.
But
I think Alexis, you can probably back me up on this, but I think there's a certain feeling that you get on Runaway Railway that's just so Disney. And it's just, and I think Flight of Passage is so Disney because of the Imagineering. But when you have the music and you have Mickey, and then maybe this goes back to the same argument of Frozen, right? I have more of an emotional connection to Mickey than I do to Avatar.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So maybe that's why I lean to Mickey. But when, you have the scenery and the ride changing before your eyes and this amazing 2.5D, and you have the song that you just can't get out of your head, and you have Mickey and Minnie and Donald and all of those characters, even though I'm still a little bitter about the Great Movie Ride, I can say that Runaway Railway gives you this Disney feeling. But again, it was only open for 2 weeks, so people don't have that experience that Alexis and I do riding that ride. So I think both of these attractions deserve to move on, quite frankly, and I just voted for Runaway Railway because of maybe more personal reasons. But looks like Flight of Passage is going on no matter what, because I don't see one vote for Runaway Railway. Maybe
There
one.
is one vote.
Maybe
There's
one. Yeah, but that's it.
All
Flight
right.
of Passage.
I will save my arguments for later and hold my tongue.
Well,
later.
I tell you, it's going to be I know what the next matchup's going to be because anyway.
Yeah.
It's going to be.
Oh wow, yeah.
It's going to be a big one. But yeah. Park Pioneer says, haven't done Runaway Railway, but I got the trackless bit being cool because of Ratatouille in Paris, but Flight of Passage still tops it. I tell you, again, they're almost two different attractions, like Alexis was saying. It's tough. I think a lot of these are going to be that same thing too. Two very different kind of attractions. This next matchup is a whole different kind of attraction that Disney's never done before until now. It's Rise of the Resistance versus Test Track. And Alexis, what did the Magical Adventurers come up with?
It was a 4-1 vote, so four people voted for Rise, and then Nate voted for Test Track.
All
Test
right,
Track.
here we go. This one I gotta hear because Test Track is one of those attractions, at least for me, that is overrated, especially the newer version.
Well, it's very simple. I haven't done Rise of the Resistance.
Well, that's true.
It's a ride against a ride, and I love Test Track.
Okay.
I love the customization of it. I love being able to, which obviously all that might be changing now, but I love just being able to go in and make your car, see how it goes up against other people's cars that are in the same car, and then when it just opens up and you go flying around that course at the end. Like I just love that. I love it, especially at night. But that's all. I'm not expecting it to go any further, so that's all I'll say about it.
All right. Well, here's some of the comments coming in. Magically, Caitlin reluctantly voting for Rise of the Resistance. That's fair if you have not been on it, but I tell you, once you go on it, Rise of the Resistance is the best ride I have ever been on. Test Track for Nate. Rise Test Track needs an upgrade, a good one this time. Don't waste time talking about it. Rise of the Resistance, hands down. Rise because of tech and a huge Star Wars nerd. Yeah, for sure. You're a huge Star Wars nerd. It's like going to heaven. Yep. Test Track needs redeeming to be a Wreck-It Ralph ride. That could be interesting.
Pretty cool.
No.
LP around.
Yeah, and Rise, it's so immersive. Looks like Rise is going to go on, but Brandon and Heidi, what did you guys say?
So again, even though we haven't been on Rise, we still picked it because of what? Like everything about it must be unreal. I love Test Track. Heidi hates Test Track. I do agree that it's probably overrated, but I just love it. But yeah, we picked.
I don't know where this overrated is coming from. I don't know how.
It's very over. Oh my gosh! Would you like me to explain?
I would not.
Always wrong, which I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, if that's why you're saying it's overrated, I disagree. If you're saying it's overrated because the ride's like something to do with the reason there's always a long line is because there's not that much to ride at Epcot. Like you're either riding that or you're riding Frozen. So
yep.
Don't mind me over in the corner. I'll be there with a 5 or 10 minute wait for Spaceship Earth, listening to Dame Judi Dench's beautiful silky voice in my ears.
Yeah, I just feel like with Test Track, you could go on a car in the highway and go faster.
See, all right. Now that Amy's back, I need her to hear that argument from everybody else because she will not write it, and I need her to hear that from everyone. You can listen when we go back, and she just got home, so you can hear it later. I'm trying to convince her next time we go either Test Track or Expedition Everest. She has to ride one of those.
And neither one's gonna happen.
I would encourage you to ride Everest because it's a better ride.
Ride Everest.
Matt is saying Everest. She's saying no.
But in terms of the less intense ride, Test Track, because it's driving on the highway.
Yeah.
Whatever. It didn't win, so it's okay. Rise moves on. Speaking about Expedition Everest, our next matchup is Expedition Everest and Nate's beloved Spaceship Earth. Brandon and Heidi, what did you guys say?
Yeah, we went with Everest because
It's so good. Everest is super good. Like it's one of those. I think it's in my top, like for sure 5. It's so good. Everest is very, very good. Sorry, Nate.
Yeah, I mean, Everest has got to be one of my favorite roller coasters ever. Magically Caitlin is Everest best roller coaster at Disney by Magically Mickey and more says Everest.
Yes.
Skylar says Everest. I could ride it all day, and you can if you go on the single rider line. You can ride it all day.
Mm-hmm.
Everest. Thank the Phoenicians, though. We should always thank the Phoenicians, anyway.
Always thank them. If without the Phoenicians, where would we be? A bunch of babbling idiots.
It's true. So you know what? Maybe you know what? Maybe I'll change my vote. No.
Thank you, Amanda, for saying Spaceship Earth, and thank you, Aiden. Thank you, Jessica. You all have a special place in my heart for choosing the superior ride.
Well, it looks like Everest is gonna move on now. Alexis, would it be faster for you to give us the vote count or tell us what Nate voted for in these polls?
Honestly, Nate votes against us, so for a lot of them. So like,
I have my niches.
oh, because yes, Nate was the only one who voted for Spaceship Earth.
Yeah. Well, Everest moves on.
C'est la vie.
That's Spaceship Earth.
I know when to pick my battles.
You want to know what's so sad though about like this bracket is when like an attraction moves on, you're leaving behind a great attraction.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not like you're leaving behind, Primeval Whirl, and you're like, oh, we don't really care about that. So, yeah.
Sorry, I left Brendan out when I said that they all have a special place in my heart. Brendan, you're also there.
Look at the Brian. That's a good comment.
If you're screaming on Everest, that means you've had a good time. That is for sure.
If you're screaming on Spaceship Earth, they ask you kindly to leave.
You know what? That's a genius idea. That is, I'm not gonna lie. That's a good idea. All right. Our next matchup, we're bringing it back to Dinosaur, and it's going to be taking on Soarin'. So, Alexis, what did we say for this one?
Actually, we need to revote because we had
do.
Frozen still.
And there's only 3 of us.
Well,
I mean, that works for the voting.
It does, because there'll be an odd number. I'm for Dinosaur.
I am too.
Nate, okay, listen. I got Soarin' over Frozen. I even backed you up on that one.
Would you like my explanation as I try and fix my lighting so I don't look like I'm ascending?
Yes, let's hear it.
It's the same argument that I've made for Flight of Passage. Take each ride, take them out of the park. Which one hurts more? If you take Soarin' out of Epcot, there's immediately one less ride that's easily one of the favorites there. If you take Dinosaur out, which a lot of people have already argued should be turned into Indiana Jones or some other thing. Alexis, don't make that face. You know I'm right. It's just between the two of them. If you take Soarin' out, that takes out a big experience of Epcot. If you take Dinosaur out, that just gives you more time to ride Flight of Passage again.
I hate when he does
Let
this.
me just ask you a question, though. Say Soarin' and Dinosaur were in the same park, and you didn't have to talk about, like, oh, it's Soarin's, like, the best ride at Epcot. If they were in the same park, which one would you prefer to ride? Because that's how I'm thinking.
I will be completely honest. I still would choose Soren purely for the newness of it and the visuals with it. Because, and going with that, there is Soren at Animal Kingdom. It's Flight of Passage. It's like Soren is incredible. We've already established that Soren is good enough for us to have chosen to be the winner of Epcot. And
of Epcot.
Well, yeah.
We're talking about Disney World.
Okay, but for Epcot, it went up against like the Pixar Short Film Festival. Let's get that out of the way here. But Dinosaur had to weasel its way into this. All right. Because it's not as good.
I know, but I mean,
no. If you take, it's as simple as that. If you take one out of the park, it's not it. One has an impact on the park, the other doesn't as much. If anything, it leads to Dino Land closing forever, which is only a good thing for everybody.
Oh my gosh!
Wow,
it's coming out hating on Dino Land again. Okay, but
this is a lot of.
But like, you can't vote. I mean, I guess you can make that argument, but I mean,
that's the argument I've been making this whole tournament is by definition like that.
But it's Soren versus Dinosaur. It's not Epcot versus Animal Kingdom.
Which is fair. I agree with you. But
which Animal Kingdom would win if we were doing Epcot versus Animal Kingdom? Because more quality attractions. However, though, we're talking about Soren versus Dinosaur.
More people are going to be willing to wait in line for Soren than you're willing to wait in line for Dinosaur. Dinosaur, and going back to my Fast Pass argument as well from before, if you have the choice, if you're in Animal Kingdom one day and you're in you're in Epcot the next day, Animal Kingdom, you have the choice for. Yeah, I see the comment. Votes can change. Brendan, you're supposed to be on my side. But like, it's just not the same experience. Like, Soren for me is just a higher experience.
Literally
as well.
I just can't like go against like every time I go on Dinosaur, I'm fearing for my life in a good way.
I mean, me too. You heard my story where I thought the T-Rex or the Carnotaur came to life.
Yeah. Okay. But with Soren, if you're in the wrong seat,
that's true.
You might not have a great experience. You might get taken out of it. And I know sometimes you see the end of the screen, and I'm like, well, that kind of took me out a little bit. Same thing with the Eiffel Tower
and Everest. I'm going to say something as well, and you're not going to like it. And I know this might cost me some votes, but I will throw an addendum on top of it as well. But Dinosaur is outdated, especially the pre-show. Let me finish. The pre-show is outdated, and you cannot deny that. It looks visually terrible. I swear in the next 5 years, if they don't update it, that thing is going to be just a white screen because of how old it looks. The screen that plays on that looks terrible. What I say is they should upgrade it, have another video with Dr. Seeker, but just have it be newer. Even if they just remake it with newer technology. That video hasn't been updated the entire time that ride's been there, and it suffers for it.
Because Dr. Seeker is amazing. And
that's not a good argument.
The conversation. But now that we have Flight of Passage, Disney doesn't need Soren. We need Dinosaur.
True. We don't need Dinosaur. Dinosaur is the one thing that's keeping Dino Land alive. And I just want to see Dino Land just go.
I love the outdated looking pre-show for Dino.
And we've been keeping account.
I mean, the Soren one's a little outdated too.
For Soren, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Soren's winning in the chat.
This is definitely going to be a longer one of our shows.
Oh yeah, well this is the final, so you know
the big one.
All the we're pulling out all the stops for this one. Okay, yeah, it looks like well, so we voted for Dinosaur though, right? Magical Adventures technically, right? Yeah. So it's tied. So it all comes down to Brandon and Heidi.
So this one was really, really, really hard, but we picked Soren because like I can't do Flight of Passage, so I have to go with like my whole Flight of Passage experience will be riding Soarin'. I do love Dinosaur. It's like one of my favorites, but if I'm picking like a better attraction and what it brings and different, Soarin's a better attraction because of what it is and all that stuff, and because I can't do Flight of Passage, so I need Soarin' in my life.
That's a good point.
I didn't even think about arguing that.
Yeah, that's a great point, actually. Yeah, okay. Soarin' goes on. We now move on to our next matchup, which Toy Story Mania is coming back for this one. So it's Toy Story Mania versus the Haunted Mansion. And Brandon and Heidi, you guys get to start this one off.
This one hurt me because I love it. But I have a newfound love for Haunted Mansion. And I think it's a classic and everything about it. So we picked Haunted Mansion.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. Haunted Mansion is classic. Again, tough. Both quality attractions. These are all quality attractions. As we wait for the chat to come in, there's one for Haunted Mansion.
Is this one we have to revote for?
Is it
No.
one?
No.
No.
Yeah, I didn't.
We have 4, 5. Good Lord. More for Haunted Mansion. We have one for Toy
Haunted
Story
Mansion,
Mania.
the stretching room is life.
Not right now. It's not.
Yeah, it's true. Love the competition.
I know. I
Toy
love
Story Mania, it's for sure.
it.
Foolish Mortals, Haunted Mansion wins.
We've got only 2 for Toy Story Mania so far.
All right. Well, probably Haunted Mansion is going to move on, I would imagine, so far, based on the chat. Alexis, what did we say?
So majority of us voted for Haunted Mansion. It was a 4-1 vote, but Nate voted for Toy Story Mania.
Good Lord.
I swear, this isn't just to be controversial. Like, these are actual opinions. I swear. These okay, well, for the most part, these are actual opinions. This one, it actually is an actual opinion of mine. And I love Toy Story Mania. I have since it opened. It's always been one of my favorite rides in all of Hollywood Studios. And as everybody knows already, I rank that part at the bottom of the list for myself. So the fact that I still like that ride, even though I don't necessarily like the part that it's in, that's where I'm at for that. I'll make points later about Haunted Mansion.
Yeah, well,
one way or another.
I will fight for Mansion. That's one of the ones I'll fight for. But yeah, it looks like technically the stretching room is death. Yeah, yes, it is. A side point, yes, I mentioned this too, Caitlin, before we started tonight. Brandon and Heidi, I like your new background.
We are back at my house, so we have our background.
Yes. It beats mine, I think. For sure. They have 2 sides. Like
mine's sitting at Target.
Yeah. It's sitting where you left it, and anyway.
Yep.
But Haunted Mansion is original, and it's a classic, and it has stood the test of time.
I need to start deleting some of these graphics.
All right. He's like, nope, that one's out.
About the Christmas overlay, come on, Walt Disney World. I heard that they don't do it because Walt Disney World's more of like a traveling park. So I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, well, because a lot of people who go to Disney World are more from out of state, whereas Disneyland's a little more local, so they can't afford to close the Haunted Mansion for that much time, which makes sense. But it would be nice to have it as well. It is a cool overlay. Nightmare Before Christmas. All right, so Haunted Mansion is gonna move on. Toy Story Mania gets left behind.
I've got the graphics made of what the majority of these are. However, I'm waiting till the final 4 to go in and purge them. Because also I might need to add a couple.
All right, well, let's see as the competition rages on. Our next matchup takes us to the corner of Frontierland, and it is Splash Mountain versus Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Alexis, what did we say?
There's a little divide in the magical adventures. Here it was a 3-2 vote, but the majority of us voted for Splash Mountain, and Jeffrey and Nate voted for Big Thunder.
Once again, Nate.
This was hard.
It was a little tougher. Definitely a lot tougher. These are both quality and Magic Kingdom Classics and the whole thing. So
The reason I voted for Splash is because I really like how long the ride is.
Yeah.
It feels like a whole experience.
It's
And
long.
I think it's worth the long wait time. Like, if I had to wait, because usually the wait times are kind of similar for those rides. If I had to wait for one for an hour, I would wait for Splash just because it's a longer attraction.
yeah, that's one of the major reasons I voted for it. It's a long ride, and it's a perfect ride in Florida as well. I know Nate's going to come at me with, well, if it's January, you ain't riding it. Well, it's close to refurbishment in January, so you can't ride it. So there we go. End of that one.
That's not what I was gonna say.
Magic Kingdom says Splash Mountain. Let's get our little Brer Rabbit to the finals. What were you gonna say about Big Thunder though, Nate?
Big Thunder is just obviously you've got the mountains, and Big Thunder is in the middle for me of the three, and Splash is last. Partially because, and it's not just January, it's also like when it gets a little colder. It's not just 1 month out of the year that it's cold in Florida, Matt. I mean, I assume I didn't live there in January, but Big Thunder Mountain is one of my favorite nighttime experiences for a ride to have in all of Disney World. Like, to be on that when the lights are different colors, to see fireworks from that ride, it's just one of the coolest experiences I've ever had, especially in Magic Kingdom. And I mean, Splash Mountain's not going to be with us for much longer, and Big Thunder will continue. Big Thunder will continue to live on and continue to keep Frontierland alive, whereas Splash Mountain will be changing and will be closed soon.
That was digging deep there, looking for an argument.
It was, yeah. I don't have much for this one. I don't have Jeffrey with me, and I feel like Jeffrey could have helped me out a little more on this one.
Yeah. Splash, Big Thunder.
I do think we are getting more.
This is Park Pioneer.
I don't know how the comments are coming in though, because I don't know if it's on your guys' screen as well, but on mine, it literally I'll get like a shotgun blast of like 7 at a time, and I'm like,
yeah,
can't count that fast.
I feel like I'm gonna need spinal surgery after Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. It's so rough. Says Disney Dan.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be longer than you think. I think Splash Mountain will be hanging around through at least the 50th. It's gonna take a little.
I wouldn't be surprised.
See that's a good pun.
See,
You got to
yeah,
dig a little deeper. Good, I love it. Yeah, I think Splash Mountain though.
Yeah,
yeah, for sure. Cool. All right, so Brandon Heidi, what did you guys say?
we just changed our vote because I love Big Thunder. It's my favorite of the 3 mountains. But if we're picking like what's better, I think Splash Mountain, because of everything that like factors in that it's long, it's like a slow dark ride, but then kind of like a roller coaster water thing. I just keep being wet though.
And we had to save it for Magically Caitlin.
Yeah.
She's our friend. She'd be hurt.
I'm excited for the Tiana thing. I love Tiana, so I'm hyped for that.
All right. So, yeah, I agree with all of those points. Splash Mountain has everything a good Disney ride should have. The animatronics, the music, the dark ride, the thrill, the long ride.
Man, the graphic I made for Big Thunder was cool, though.
Well, you can delete it.
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. I just went through and purged half of them.
Because Brer Rabbit is one step closer to his laughing place. Moving on to the next round. All right. Our next round, we got to battle the roller coasters here. And, oh, good Lord, this one's kind of tough. Slinky Dog Dash versus Space Mountain. And Brandon and Heidi, we'll go over to you first for this one.
So this one's tough. To be fair, I haven't crammed in that seat of Space Mountain in a long time. But we picked Slinky Dog because Slinky Dog is really good and Toy Story Land is awesome. And just everything that you get on that ride, I think is really cool. It's a cool experience to see the whole Toy Story area on there. And yeah, haven't crammed in that Space Mountain seat in a while. So it's hard for me to give an opinion on it.
Yeah, I mean, I think Slinky Dog's one of the best. It's really fun.
Yeah,
and like Nate said, without it, Toy Story Land's not as good.
Yep.
I think I voted for Space Mountain, though. Did I?
for us.
Looks like a lot of Slinky Dog votes coming in so far. Whoa, more Slinky Dog votes.
Surprised by that.
Wow. Oh, this makes me happy though, because even though I voted for Space Mountain, I think in the future one of my other favorite attractions might have a better shot.
Sure.
Slinky Dog is wow already. It's hearing Slinky Dog speak Spanish is great. It's quite a hoot.
Wow. We've got 10 votes for Slinky Dog.
Wow.
And I don't think any for Space Mountain.
None for Space Mountain. Well, Alexis, how did the Magical Adventurers vote?
Okay, real quick, I want to change my vote because I originally voted for Space Mountain, but honestly, I don't like cramming into the seat either.
Yeah.
Like, I was thinking about that, and I'm like, wait a second. Like, I remember after work, I would go ride Space Mountain, and I tried to fit my work backpack in the ride, and it would just never fit. So I had to, like, put it on top of me. I'm like, I don't like cramming into the seat. So I'm changing the Slinky Dog Dash. So it is a 3-2 vote. Jeffrey and I voted
No,
for
it's not. No, it's not. I'm changing my vote too.
Wow. Madness.
Oh,
Because Brandon brought up a fantastic point. I hate cramming in that seat myself. And Magically Mickey and More also put in a good point. Unless it's the Christmas overlay, it could skip. The Christmas overlay is fantastic, by the way. At Space Mountain.
Am I the only one who doesn't care about the cramping?
And you're
I'm
pretty-
solid 8.
So you're talking to.
yeah.
so
Brandon says Space Mountain for taller people, not fun. Magically Caitlin says Slinky Dog solely because I like to actually see the track I'm riding. Alexa, so what is it now? What is our vote now?
okay, so that means that it would be. Can I not do math? That would be a 3-2 vote. So 3 for Slinky Dog Dash, 2 for Space Mountain, with Owen not being here. So Owen, I don't know if he would switch to Slinky, but it's Owen and Nate who voted for Space Mountain.
All right. Yeah. Looks like it's scary with the lights on. It's interesting to ride it with the lights on for sure. This is
Oh, it
definitely
is.
Magic Madness indeed. Who was brave enough to put their hands up on Space Mountain? I can't remember who I was with. I was with someone, and they put their hands up, on that last tunnel where it's like the red tunnel, and they touched the top.
I've done that every time.
Was that you?
Well,
was that you,
just have to
Nate?
put your-
I wasn't there with you guys, but I do that every time I go in. The first time I did it, it's because I wanted to know if it was hot, because I was like, "Oh, it's red. Maybe it's hot." And I don't know why that's what my mind process was, but I was like, let's see if this is hot. And then I did the same thing with the blue to see if it was cold.
I remember riding it when the
It
cast
wasn't.
got to ride it with the lights on, and somebody touched the top of it. And I don't know why I thought it was you, Nate, but I guess not.
I wasn't there when you guys did that because I had an hour and a half drive home.
Interesting. Okay.
And it was like 11:30 already.
I feel like Nate just needs to be like this, and he could.
Like, how high do you put your hand?
Essentially,
I feel like I would go with no hand.
it's more casual than anything. It's more like like it's not, if I went full extended, I would lose my hands.
Yeah,
Like, they would go into the tunnel. My hands would become a permanent part of Space Mountain.
Oh my goodness. Well, we have our last matchup of round 2, and this one I will fight hard for if it goes the way I don't want it to go. It's Pirates of the Caribbean versus the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. Alexis, how did the Magical Adventurers vote on this one?
Stuff. I thought it was the Safari, but it's not. Okay, so it's
Nope.
because I thought it lost, but it didn't. Okay, so it's a 3-2 vote. Jeffrey and Nate. Wait, Nate, did you vote for Pirates against
Probably.
Tower? But then you
Probably.
voted against. Okay, yeah. So Jeffrey and Nate voted for Pirates, and then Matt, I, and Owen voted for Tower.
The right choice. Tower of Terror is one of the best rides at Disney World. Obviously, it's in this tournament, so we know it is. It's just one of the best rides ever. The rewritability factor alone puts it up there. I could go on Tower of Terror all day. I never get bored.
yeah.
And the theming's amazing too. Blood everywhere. Yeah, this is a Magic Madness night for sure. Magical Caitlin says Tower of Terror. I know that Caitlin will back us up tonight. getting
Check our
Tower of
latest
Terror to
comment.
win.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is so hard. Yeah, it's just keeps getting hard. That is for sure. One for Pirates here. I'm sorry, Heidi, but voting Pirates, says the Bryrock.
Okay, we still love him.
Aiden, I want to. All right.
Nate,
Aiden's
you
asking
can't
me to
betray him
campaign.
anymore. 'Cause if he's going against Tower, you better stick with him.
Aiden's asking me to campaign for Pirates, so I'll see what I can do. It beat Safari, so I'm not as invested, but I'll see. You know, I think it was somebody in here that made a good point that Pirates is one of the few rides that had a movie made because of it.
Whoa. And somebody else
And-
made the point that there was one good movie and the rest of them stunk. So
Hey, but if you have fun, watching them, you have fun watching them. Who am I to complain? I'm not the one behind the director's chair. I'm not the one rolling the camera. I don't get the millions of dollars to make those films. I'm not with Mr. Bruckheimer. However,
Literally no point campaigning for this. Wait, please.
no point in campaigning.
Yeah.
I don't want to extend this out longer than it has to be for our total runtime. If it was anything else but Pirates, I could probably argue it.
Yeah, and
But
know what?
I just don't feel like I could argue Pirates over. Also, because I don't have a picture for Pirates.
And you voted against it last time.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's the whole point. That's why I voted for it in the poll. Like just because I vote against it one round doesn't mean I'm not going to support it in another round. Just depends on what it comes up against. I might vote it. I'll vote against the Pixar Short Film Festival all day long. But if it comes up against what I don't know, I've lost my train of thought.
Well, you can campaign and try to change people's votes, but I know it's not going to change Heidi's vote at all, and I can guarantee that Tower of Terror is going to come out of Brandon and Heidi. But for formality purposes, what did you guys say?
Tower of Terror. I'm a little bit hurt at some of the people in the comments that they didn't vote for Tower, but I'll forgive you guys because I'm going to vote for Tower of Terror. It's just the best, and I agree with everything you said, Matt. I fully support you, so we're all voting for Tower over here.
I do love Pirates, though. I think they're two totally different experiences. And if you're connected to Pirates, I think, then I could see. But I'm connected to Tower of Terror.
Aiden, I'm only seeing a handful for Pirates, man.
Yes, and
I'm
plus,
so sorry.
I believe both channel votes were for Tower. So, unfortunately,
it's okay.
Tower of Terror for your Pirate supporters, but it's okay. Pirates, great attraction as well, and it gets left behind. A classic, iconic attraction gets left behind, which is amazing. So now it's just going to continue to get harder because our next matchup is probably two of the most advanced attractions at Walt Disney World, and it's Flight of Passage versus Rise of the Resistance. Wow. Brandon and Heidi, you guys get to tackle this one first.
So again, never been on either of these, but I will be able to ride one of them. So we're picking Rise of the Resistance because I will never get to do Flight of Passage, but I will get to do Rise, and I'm sure it's incredible. So have to pick it. And it's like really long. Like the whole experience I've heard is crazy long. And I'll get to do it someday. So I can't just be voting for Flight of Passage if I'll never be able to do it.
Yeah, it's like 20 minutes. It's insane.
While the comments come in, we need to revote because
We
we
do.
had Runaway Railway going against Rise. So
Okay. Cool. Let's let the chat come in a little more before we poll. But it looks like I think Rise. No spoilers for Rise. Don't worry, Magical Caitlin. We will not spoil Rise. I would just say that it's amazing. And after you ride Rise, this matchup becomes easy. See if Nate agrees. Well, he hasn't ridden Rise, so Nate, after you ride Rise, come back and we'll talk about this one.
Yeah, I don't think my feeling will change.
wow.
I thought nothing could top Flight of Passage, but it did.
I agree.
All right, let's repoll. It kind of, I think it looks like Rise.
Yeah.
There's some Flight of Passage sprinkled in there, but it looks like Rise. The size of the set alone is insane. We had the opportunity to go backstage on our last night because they brought us in that way to ride the attraction. And the building is huge. You can't see it from in Galaxy's Edge because of the amazing rock work and scenery of Galaxy's Edge, but the building is huge. And I know everybody's seen the picture of the stormtroopers, so I will say that, and that is just breathtaking. Looks like Rise, but let's repoll in the match. We'll start with Nate because he's usually the unpopular opinion, so it makes it a little more exciting.
Flight of Passage.
All right, Rise of the Resistance for me. Alexis?
I'm going Rise of the Resistance. Rise of the Resistance.
So Rise is the first attraction to go on to the Final Four. Now, unlike the past weeks, there is no more Magic Madness after tonight. So Rise is not moving on to anything else. It's in the Final Four, but that doesn't mean anything right now. It still has to take on 3 other amazing attractions. So on to our next matchup. It's Expedition Everest versus Soarin'. Alexis, how did the Magical Adventurers vote for this one?
We're going to need to revote again because we had Frozen here.
We had Frozen against Everest. Well, my vote doesn't change. It's still Everest.
Mine doesn't change either. Oh, actually, mine does change because I had it be Frozen. So mine changes to Everest. So mine changed. Nate?
Remind me again what they were?
Everest and Soarin'.
Yeah, I got to go Everest.
Okay. Unanimous for Everest. I have to talk to my parents after this. Soarin'. We'll talk about it. Disco Yeti. Everest. Oh, wow. Soarin'. It's close. This one's close.
All right, I'll count.
Yeah. You be our official candidate. This one to me, I got to vote Everest only because of the amazing scenery and Joe Roadiness, if that's a adjective.
It is
5-4 right now. Soarin' is winning for a 5-4 vote.
Whoa.
Oh.
Wow. Brandon and Heidi, what did you guys say?
Go for it.
Okay, so we went with Everest just because we have more fun on Everest. It's more like thrilling, and that's the kind of rides that we really, really like. And it's like iconic too in Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, like you said it all. Like the theming, it's like one of the icons of Animal Kingdom, if not the icon of Animal Kingdom. It's awesome. So Everest. Soarin's great though. Soarin's really fun.
But
yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I agree. I agree. It looks like magically Caitlin says phew because that was close. The chat had Soarin'. That was another close one.
Surprising.
Yeah.
They've been close tonight.
It is.
These matchups, man, have been amazing. Everest going on to the Final Four. So far,
that's one of the ones that I made a graphic for.
We almost had the opportunity to have one attraction from each park in the Final Four, but Epcot has nothing left in this tournament. So Epcot, I think Epcot's if there was a food bracket, Epcot would win.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, attractions did not. How big is the backwards drop? Well, it's quite interesting. I don't know because it kind of goes back and then up.
Yeah,
that's true.
And then the forward drop is about 80 feet, I think. Magically, Caitlin says, "Bye, Epcot." Sorry, Nate. I know Nate loves Epcot.
Maybe it'll be better once they get those Guardians of the Galaxy in there. Who knows?
Yeah, that would definitely probably be something that could, we replaced Ellen with Guardians of the Galaxy, but, Joe Rohde's life. Yes. All right, so our next matchup is the Haunted. Oh, this one's going to be so hard. Even for me. I must have to think about this one again before we, finally submit the votes, but it's Haunted Mansion versus Splash Mountain. Oof.
That's hard.
Brandon and Heidi get to start this one off, so I get to think a little bit.
So these are both obviously very different, and they're both awesome. But we picked Haunted Mansion because Haunted Mansion is such a cool experience. It almost seems so classic Disney that it's just something different. And I don't want to be super wet, so Haunted Mansion is awesome. And it's just everything about it. Like the technology for where it was to where it still is now is still really good. And I think you can't say that for a lot of rides at Disney. So that gives it points there for sure.
Wow. Magically, Caitlin says, I can't do this.
It's hard.
It is hard.
And yeah, Aiden is voting for Splash because Haunted Mansion won last time. So he's going to try to get Splash through this time. Oh, man. Yeah, food and wine will always be what Epcot is.
Yep.
Oh, man. Splash is longer. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. This is a tough one. Split house again for Magical Mickey and more. Haley goes with Haunted Mansion. Tommy is taking Splash. Oh, this is tough. You know, both of these attractions are in my top 5 attractions at Disney World. Oh, Splash. I love Haunted Mansion so much, though. Well, all right, Alexis, what was the vote for the Magical Adventures? I have to think about it.
It was a unanimous vote for Haunted Mansion.
Okay. So, Nate,
Yes.
pass this over to you because I know a lot of the times you did vote against Mansion. So why would you vote against Mansion?
Why would I vote against Mansion? Like between Mansion and Splash Mountain, or just in general?
Just in general.
Any time that I'm on it, it breaks down. That's my biggest thing. Is a lot of the time when I ride it, it breaks down, and it breaks down on a hill. And it's always right before the graveyard, and it's always super uncomfortable to just be sitting at an angle, and I just feel trapped. But aside from that, that's really my only thing. I would rather stand in line for Haunted Mansion than I would rather stand in line for Splash Mountain.
You know, I think as much as Splash Mountain is such a fun, what I like about Splash Mountain is it's a great family attraction. And that's one of the center things of Disney World, right? Is families coming together to have fun. And everybody rides it. You get the great ride picture. It's a long ride. Great music and all that stuff. But Brenda's comment here actually, says a lot. Originality always wins. And that behind-the-scenes tour was everything. Haunted Mansion is just such this original idea, and the Imagineering feats in that are amazing, and they hold up today. And that's what I think so amazing about it. And Mansion has an attraction. It's got to be every park around the world, even if it's a different version of it. Mystic Manor, whatever the other Phantom Manor.
And
so,
the movie, Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
We don't need to talk about that movie.
Oh, no, we don't need to talk about it.
But I think Brandon said it in the Magic Kingdom episode about how Haunted Mansion just has this deep lore, and it's such a piece. Haunted Mansion is one of the things that's untouchable, I feel like, in the Magic Kingdom. You can't touch that attraction. You can upgrade it slightly, technical enhancements, but you can't redo that attraction. Unfortunately, as we've seen, Splash, is getting which will be an exciting redo, but I'm sticking with Mansion. That was just a long-winded way for me to say I'm not changing my vote.
Pre-show for Mansion is also amazing. The stretching room, that's one of a kind compared to anything I've seen at Disney. So, the chat also is an 8-6 vote for Mansion.
Wow.
All right. Haunted Mansion is going on to the final 4.
And to point out Brendan's comment, it may also be letting somebody onto the ride. I'm not 100% sure. That's very well possibly what it is. It's just that it always happens when I'm on the hill.
I know. It does break down, but so do so many rides. It's just the nature. If you think about it, these rides are operating 365 days a year for at least 7 hours a day.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah, Haunted Mansion has a cult following. Stands the test of time.
True.
All right. Our next matchup is Slinky Dog Dash, the Tower of Terror. Do we have to revote, Alexis?
Yes, we had Space Mountain being in
Okay. My vote's still Tower of Terror.
I'm changing my vote to Tower of Terror.
Yes.
Not that it matters with Slinky Dog Dash.
Of course. Oh my goodness. Chat, as we await their votes. I mean, Tower of Terror. The best.
It's a park icon.
It's a park icon. Thank you.
It's not like I get scared of that ride a lot, and it's not like my favorite ride, but I can't not say it's the best ride at Studios. Like the theming, the suspense, the re-rideability. So I had to think of it as like which is the better attraction, not what do I like riding on more.
Magically, Caitlin says Tower of Terror as she's dropping.
Me saying that is dropping. I love that.
I feel like that should deserve 2 votes for the creativity.
It doesn't need more votes than it's already getting.
It's true. Tower of Terror is doing well. For Matt, hashtag Team Matt. That's the first time I've got a hashtag team thing. Owen's got it. Nate's got it. I didn't get it yet. So I'm very honored. Tower of Terror. Yeah, Tower of Terror. And again, at the end of the day, we all know. But Brandon and Heidi, what did you guys say?
Tower of Terror.
Woo!
Hashtag Team Matt.
Oh boy. All right. So the final 4 is going to be Rise of the Resistance, Expedition Everest, Haunted Mansion, and Tower of Terror. Whoa.
That's what we said.
I feel like I expected a lot of these to be here.
This is what we
Yeah,
had.
that's what we had on our list.
This is what you really.
Yeah.
What did we have, Alexis?
Rise of the Resistance versus Everest, which is what we originally had, which is the same. And then we had Haunted versus Space. So we weren't that far off. A little bit.
Yeah, the only reason we had Space is because I don't know why we had Space. Anyway.
So
next.
what's our final 4 again?
Rise of the Resistance, Expedition Everest, Haunted Mansion, Tower of Terror.
This
All
is
right.
exciting.
This is
All right, the graphics are ready.
okay. Our first matchup is Rise of the Resistance versus Expedition Everest. Brandon and Heidi, what did you come up with?
So we've never rode Rise. So we picked Everest because, again, this is where it's like 2 rides, and we've like rode one. And Everest is very, very good. I know that I'm sure like Rise might get this one, but Everest is really, really good. And the theming's really good. It's a really good roller coaster, probably the best at Disney World. And just everything about it. It's a park icon. Everything about it is just awesome. But this one's hard.
Vote for Everest.
All right.
But I guarantee if I rode Rise, it would change.
Yeah, maybe.
For sure.
Magically, Caitlin says Everest. Come on, people. Let's see.
Well, I'm actually surprised with the comments because, like, last time
So
Rise.
Rise did not do well last time.
No.
Yeah, that's why I'm surprised too.
Yeah.
People are
Rise is winning 7-1 right now.
Wow.
Interesting.
Everest, let's go get that Yeti. Yeah, looks like Rise is dominating in the chat, which I find shocking based on the Hollywood Studios votes. Wow. Wow. Alexis, what did we say? Because now it's a tie. So
It is a 4-1 vote. 4 of us voted for Rise of the Resistance, and Nate voted for Expedition Everest.
all right. So Rise is moving on to the final matchup. So it's either going to be Rise against Mansion or Rise against Tower. And Nate, we're really close to what we had.
Mm-hmm.
We had, well, I won't say, but we're
No,
close.
yeah, don't say it. You can't.
We're
say
close.
it.
Though. We're close. I'll tell you that. Okay. Wow. Yeah. Magically, Caitlin trying to change votes. Aiden, just change your mind. Everest is so classic. Vote. It's the right side. Maybe it's the light side, not the dark side. So, well, don't worry, Magically, Caitlin. Mansion or Tower might have a shot here. All right. So, Haunted Mansion versus Tower of Terror. Alexis, do we have to re-poll because we had Space, right?
Yeah, I have no idea what I want to vote for.
This is, I know that we always say that we have to go with what's better. The problem with these two is they're both so good.
Yeah.
And they both are probably, obviously they got this far, right? So they got to be two of the best. So I have to go and play into the emotion factor of it and what is my favorite. And I have to vote Tower of Terror.
Haunted Mansion.
Oh, Alexis, coming down to you for our vote.
Okay.
Your gut, girl.
I love the theming. I love everything of both these rides. But if we're going between which one I'd rather ride, but this is hard.
It's tough. I think these both deserve to win. That's the problem.
Listen to Pumpkin Patch.
Problem is like Tower of Terror.
What would
Pumpkin
Patch would say? Go with your gut, girl.
Yeah.
It's hard though. It's so hard.
The chat is really. I think it's going to be close.
Really close.
This is hurting.
Oh boy. Oh, like Alexis, this is a big vote.
Yeah.
This says you're more than welcome to look at the chat and see maybe if you want to see if they bring up any good points. But
oh my god! Like literally, like I could literally like it's so divided.
I think in a way they're both comparable with like the beginning of the ride, like the pre-show and all the things are really good. Like the cues are good.
Yeah.
Experience.
See, this one was way harder for me than obviously for Heidi.
I tell you, it was tough for me. But somebody in the chat mentioned the thrill factor just
exactly. Thank you.
Puts it a little over the top in terms of. I always ask myself this question:
more fun.
What would I want to ride multiple times in the same day?
Yeah.
Because I probably will go on Haunted Mansion every time I go to Magic Kingdom because it's fantastic. But I will ride Tower of Terror multiple times and never get sick of it.
Yes.
True.
Oh gosh, man.
What's the chat at here?
Don't even look at the chat, Alexis. You just decide.
Well, also we have to ignore people like my sister who just keeps typing mansion.
One comment equals one vote.
I'm making my final decision. I have decided. So I like both the rides a lot. I like the theming of both the rides. I agree where they're both very similar. Like similar at the beginning with the pre-show and everything. Tower of Terror. I'm not the best with like thrill rides. It's not my favorite. But when I compare the two and I think about which is the better ride, not which one I would personally want to ride on, I'm gonna pick Tower of Terror.
Yes. That was a huge vote.
Wow.
Huge. That had to be the biggest vote, and I probably just busted Nate's eardrums.
Look at that.
Go like this.
That's funny.
It was me and Heidi together going.
Yes.
Oh man, Alexis, I have to tell you too. You did a fantastic job building that up.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure until the end.
Cool move, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh god. Well, let's look at the chat.
Counting this is going to be hard because there's multiple votes in here.
There's so many repeat votes.
Yeah.
I think it's for Mansion, but just barely, or it's for Tower, but just barely.
Okay. So let me go.
No matter what, though, Tower's going on.
Yeah, let me go over to Brandon and Heidi.
So this one is really hard for me. Heidi obviously so we picked Tower, but it was hard for me. She just overwhelmingly picks Tower every time. So even if I had to say, it wouldn't matter. But
for me though, Tower is more fun than Haunted Mansion.
It's like what Matt said.
Yeah, exactly.
You can ride it a bunch of times, and it's really, really fun. And if you're, I'd be sad if they got rid of either. But Tower is just really, really great.
All right. Well, Tower of Terror moves on to the final matchup, which is no matter what at this point, Hollywood Studios is getting the victory.
The best park out there.
Woo-hoo.
Right. Nate's like Epcot was out a while ago. I have no more emotional investment in this.
I will argue just to see other things lose at this point.
Magically, Caitlin is with us till the end for Tower of Terror, and us. I'm speaking on behalf of myself and Heidi. So our last matchup is Rise of the Resistance versus the Tower of Terror. Brandon and Heidi, we'll start with you.
So again, haven't rode Rise, so we picked Tower of Terror, and I'm sure it wouldn't change Heidi's mind anyway. Nope. But again, Tower is really, really good. I know a lot of people don't like the thrill ride, but I think you always, like, I know I get surprised when it's like slow moving at first,
and that's
you
part
get
of
very
it.
scared.
Like I get so scared every single time I'm on it, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But then afterwards, I'm like, that was amazing. It was so fun, and I just want to do it again.
And you go in the basement, and it's creepy, and like the cast member there, like, is
for Tower. Creepy. A vote for Tower is a vote for me and Matt.
That's right. That's right. And a vote for the icon of the park.
Exactly.
Just saying. Yeah. Just saying. And a ride that has been with us for quite a while and has never slowed down since it opened. It's still popular. It's still beloved. Rise is very new, and you can only get on it once a day. Tower of Terror, you can get on multiple times, especially if you get a couple fast passes. And now you can go on a lot because there's nobody in the park. Just saying.
Stretching this one out, aren't you?
We're gonna have to repoll, right?
Yeah.
We had Rise versus Haunted Mansion.
Well, I'll tell you this. I was gonna vote for Haunted Mansion had those two gotten there. For the same exact reason that I'm gonna put my vote in for Tower of Terror. It's the nostalgia factor. It's what's my favorite, obviously. I do love Rise of the Resistance, and I think it's a whole different experience in of itself. But at the end of the day, I always vote on rewritability. You can theoretically want to ride Rise of the Resistance over and over again, but you can't at the moment because of the virtual queue. So that's kind of the one minor thing that put me towards Tower, and that it's my favorite. I'm going to stick for Tower. Nate?
Oh, you want me to go next, or you want Alexis to go next?
No, I want to put Alexis on the spot again, I think. Well, we'll see. Nate, what did you vote for?
Tower.
Okay, no, not putting Alexis on the spot then. We will record Alexis's vote.
And my reasoning for it has absolutely nothing to do with the ride. It has absolutely nothing to do with Hollywood Studios in and of itself. It's because if you're standing in just the right spot of Epcot, Tower of Terror lines up with Morocco, and it looks pretty.
Yes.
I can connect it back to Epcot, which means I can theoretically connect it back to Ellen. Henceforth, Tower of Terror.
Yay!
Wow.
Also, I haven't ridden Rise.
Yeah.
That's also an important factor.
Surprised, and so am I. So, wow, I think Nate might have had the big vote in this one. So, Magical Ventures, no matter what, are voting Tower of Terror, and that means no matter what, Tower of Terror has won. But, Alexis, what would have been your vote?
It would have been Tower of Terror. I love Rise, but I agree with you. Even if we did get the chance to rewrite it, I think that's the type of ride you can only ride once when you're in Hollywood Studios because it's just so long, and the queue and everything. And Tower of Terror is classic. I can't. Like, Tower of Terror wins. I have no other words for it. I'm happy with the win.
Like, also, I've had the opportunity to ride Rise 3 times at this point, and I feel like when you ride it the first time, it's like the special thing. So
yeah, I agree.
So I feel like if you kept going on it over and over again.
Yeah, the difference, but it was definitely different between the first and the second time I rode it. It didn't feel the same for me. I still love the ride, but the suspense that you got riding it the first time is gone. The suspense riding Tower multiple times is still there. You know, like I feel that scared feeling every time I ride Tower of Terror.
That's very true. So, the problem is when you don't get to re-ride Rise a lot, you say, okay, do these same things make you feel the same way it did the first time? So because we don't know that, I think that's kind of this X factor, why at least I couldn't vote for it. So, well, Tower of Terror wins the Magic Madness tournament. And
Hey.
so let me just tell everybody out there now. Before we started the show, we had our little pre-meeting. Everybody wrote down on a piece of paper what they thought was going to win. So we're going to reveal that now. I'm going to go to each one of you. We'll start with up in the corner there with Alexis. What was on your piece of paper? Tower of Terror.
Wow.
All right.
I just had a feeling.
Come to me last.
Okay.
I didn't have a piece of paper. I gotta find a picture.
Okay. So in our own thing that we did, we voted Tower of Terror, and we thought like we had that as the winner. But I wrote Flight of Passage because last time like everyone was super for it, and this time everyone like hated it, and nobody voted for Rise last time.
And I voted for Tower of Terror. I had a feeling it was gonna win. I just knew it. Tower of Terror.
All right, I kind of went like a little on the fence, but I did go with Tower of Terror as well. But I said Mansion could be a close second, and it was. Well, it came in third, but it was close there. But I did vote Tower of Terror as well. Nate,
I didn't have you can take my thing down. I didn't have a picture. I didn't have anything, but mine was Flight of Passage. I was too busy working on the graphic to write it down.
All right. Well, yeah, I know. I had a feeling too that Tower was going to take it all the way. So wow. So a bunch of us had it right. And here's our graphic provided by Nate. Tower of Terror wins Magic Madness. Wow. That's amazing. I'm happy. It's my favorite attraction. So looks like the chat is some are happy. Some maybe not, but
we're mad. I think not even not happy. They're mad.
They're mad. Yeah. Magically Caitlin is very happy. For sure. Yay, Tower. Yeah. All these attractions came to play. They played hard. And they all deserved. And all 20 of these attractions tonight could have gotten that spot that Tower did. But I think Tower of Terror. And I'm happy that a non-Disney IP attraction won as well. It goes to show that original Imagineering is not dead. So I'm happy for that. So we have that mix of mixed emotions in the chat, but we'd like to thank everyone out there in the chat for voting along with us throughout this entire tournament and for participating and being so passionate about these attractions and just being a part of our Magical Adventurers family here. I'd like to thank Brandon and Heidi again for doing this the whole time with us. It was such a pleasure. We're happy to have you as part of our family, and we loved working with you this whole time.
Oh, well, thank you guys for having us. We had the best of our time. Thank you to everyone in the chat who came over from our channel and from your channel coming to our, this whole thing's been the best. So I'm glad that we're all part of this big Disney family. It's the best. So
yes. And the best part about this Disney family, it's not over. Magic Madness might be over, but next week we'll be back here on Saturday, as we are every Saturday. We'll be playing Geek Out to test your Disney knowledge, and you out there in the chat will get to call in to the stream and help the Magical Adventurers to victory. There'll be more details on that as we get closer to the stream, but it's going to be really exciting. And of course, we always have great content over on YouTube, so make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon to be notified of when all of our latest videos go live. And on Instagram at the Magical Adventurers, make sure to click that follow button. We have new content every day. And over on Facebook, where you can not only catch the live stream, but also stay up to date on all things Magical Adventures, including the new blog, which will be coming out on August 1st. So don't forget to check that out. We have a lot of great articles. Some of our writers are actually joining us in the chat tonight and have some great stuff planned for you, and I'm really excited for that. So I think that's it. Make sure to check out Brandon and Heidi over at It's Always Sunny. Their link will be in the comments as well as in the description of the video or wherever you're listening to this as a podcast. And I think that's it. I have nothing else to say other than that this Magic Madness tournament was truly madness, and it's been a pleasure, and it's been fun. So until our next magical adventure, see you all real soon.
Bye.
Bye.